Hello, 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 what is going on, everybody, all you peoples out there? Welcome to another exciting, fun-filled episode of Chillin' with Da Pool. That's right, we are on episode 2 of the new season, Chillin' with Da Pool. With me, I have as my brand new co-host, Pirate Master Deadpool Supreme. And yes, you must say the whole name Pirate Master Deadpool Supreme. Like a Tribe Called Quest, you say the whole thing. It's just how it is. Say hi, Pirate Master Deadpool Supreme. What's going on, lads and lasses? This is Pirate Master Deadpool Supreme, coming at you live from Chillin' with Da Pool. Alright, now that we have introductions out of the way, it's time we get this show rolling. Now, like I said before, we'll be talking a lot about current events, movies, pop culture, music, the whole enchilada, or in this case, the chimichangas. Yeah. Guest starring with me, we'll have a special regular guest that has been a great friend of the Deadpool Corps, and of course, Deadpool, the main man himself. Can we get on closer? And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time. Oh, wait. Oh, sorry about that, folks. My Deadpool's mind always gets, up in the clouds and everything. Well, we'll be introducing him in just a little bit. But for the time being, it's time that we talked about a little bit about the awesome partying thing we did last night. Yep. Well, you know what they say about wings and beer. It's a wild combination. But of course, always remember, folks. Please drink responsibly. If you're to drink beer, please drink responsibly. Always have a designated driver set at the ready. As a message and sponsored in part by Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beer, sports. Alright, second of all, it's time that we got right down to business. We'll be talking, like I said, pop culture, music, movies, video games, songs, and current events that are listed over here in today's wrap. So, let's start with current events, shall we? First, the vaccine. Now, there's been a lot of people who say they are against the vaccine or for the vaccine. I personally am for the vaccine. Like I said, anything that gets rid of this COVID plague faster, I'm... Excuse me. Sorry, early morning breakfast chimichanga. Anyway, I am completely for this vaccine because anything that gets rid of this COVID plague faster, I'm gonna jump on that faster than a Victoria's Secret model. But hey, that won't stop them, am I right? Okay, now then, now people I know are against this virus because against this vaccine because it's just infecting them with the virus, but that's just a load of malarkey. And by the way, if Jenny McCarthy was so smart, she would have known that vaccines don't cause autism. People who are born with autism already have autism because, well, it's just one of those things. Because vaccines don't give you autism. They're just supposed to give you a protection from any kind of the disease you're for, like against the influenza, chickenpox, shingles. That's all for it. I've been getting shots for those diseases for a few years, and I never once had them. And FYI, I was already born with autism. So guess what? So it wasn't from no shot or anything. And by the way, if you were to look at me, like Deadpool and or the producer of the show, holla, you wouldn't even be able to tell that I'd have autism. Not even the once. Not even just one single thing. I'm just saying. Now then, let's see. So anyway, we covered the vaccines. I think are going to be shipping out soon, and don't worry, by 2022, it's going to be when the golden age is at its peak. Now, for right now, it's still kind of still starting out slow, but it's going to increase and go up. Okay, so let's see. We got the vaccines covered, and I don't know much about Biden's administration. Not too much about politics to talk about that, but well, we have another sponsor. Maybe talk about another sponsor. I know the sponsor of this show is Last Week Tonight with John Oliver on that's available on HBO and HBO Max. Just subscriptions are required. Anyway, some of John Oliver talks about ranges a lot of topics, especially one of their latest mascots. Can you believe them? One of them is called Totes My Goats. Yes, it's exactly what it sounds like, Totes My Goats. It's funny to say, and guess what? It's basically just a guy in a recycled t-shirt with a cheap goat mask. Seriously, it's like the first one you picked. He compares us to like clowns and everything because, well, they said they're scary, not funny, and they eat children. It's like, you sure you're not thinking of Pennywise from It? Seriously, if you've seen a picture of a clown, you'd see how they always put in the effort. They clearly put the effort in. They get the nose, the face paint, the clean looking, the funniest looking clown clothes, and then that's it. They may or may not be funny, but they at least put in the effort. Whereas Totes My Goats, he just picked like the first cheapest goat mask and just wore that. I mean, seriously. I mean, I know they're supposed to appeal to an audience, to an adult demographic, but come on, man, it's like they're not even trying. And by the way, did you know that? And by the way, focus on me for a little bit. Did you know that Totes My Goats is actually qualified for the vaccine? I know. If you're like me, you're probably wondering, how the heck is someone like that able to be registered? Guess what? It's hypertension. It's like, oh, bull crap. I mean, seriously, he's like a furry who can't even commit. I mean, if you're gonna be a furry, you gotta at least you either commit to the part or you don't. Otherwise, you can't do it half-assed. Otherwise, Totes My Goats is pretty much the result. All right, fine. Zoom back out and whoop, just trying to adjust the camera a little bit. Yep. Okay, so then, like I said, we got Totes My Goats, who is going to be the sponsoring for the recycling program. It's reduce, reuse, and recycle. And speaking of triple R's, there's the repositioning, reform, and some other third R thing. But you can find, if you want to know what the rest of the stuff is, you can find it available on The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, available now on Disney+. We only got 2 episodes left until the big season finale, which is surprising because I thought it would at least carry on until June. Well, I said, but since it did take place in halfway through March, so I suppose then they give it a little bit of a break before the new Loki season starts. But anyway, for those of you who have seen Falcon and Winter Soldier like I have, you'll know that it's totes awesome sauce, yo. And yes, that is a real word. Isn't that right, Pyre Deadpool Supreme? Yar, it is. Falcon and Winter Soldier has been one of the best Disney Plus shows I have seen since WandaVision, and trust me, if we're coming off the high of WandaVision, this is the perfect one to get back into. It's like feels like a real MCU movie, but in an actual full TV series. Thanks, Pirate Master Deadpool Supreme. But yes, as my illustrious co-host has said, that Falcon and Winter Soldier is indeed an awesome buddy cop flick. Series. And to think, all of this, the production of this one started out as a petition on Change.com. If you really want to make a change, which another sponsor is Change.org. If you really want to make a change in your community or to the world, please feel free to sign up on Change.com. Just get the petitions, the signatures, the donations, all you need to make your own petition. Change.com, where change can somewhat happen. Anyway, back in the early days, there used to be a petition on Change.com that says make Falcon and Winter Soldier into a buddy cop flick, but they did it even better by changing it into a series. It's like, can you believe that? It's like we've asked for the fans of the dynamic of this new Marvel dynamic duo have asked for this for 5 years, and that was dating back in 2016. Oops, just a sec, folks. Sorry. Anyway, the folks, they've asked for this dynamic duo for a series for 5 years, and this was dated back in 2016, back when Captain America Civil War first came out. And now, because of this, Disney Plus finally gave in and graced us with Falcon and Winter Soldier, which I'm a couple of episodes in, and I am already, hooked. It is just that freaking awesome. Now, I know that there's been a lot of debate online saying it's like a lot of hypocrisy about loving Baron Zemo, an evil Hydra piece of crap, and U.S. agent who is John Walker, the supposed Captain America replacement. Now, if you're going to ask me what side I'd be on for this whole debacle thing, I think, again, may I remind all you viewers, and I don't want to be cynical about this, but they are fictional characters, so, you know. And second of all, if I had to pick, well, I think we can all agree at this point that Zemo is a evil Hydra bag of dicks. Okay, there is no question about that. I know his history, and if anyone who's read the comics and watched the MCU movie, you know as well. And besides, he wasn't entirely innocent in Civil War. I mean, according to him, when Iron Man was researching his dossier, Zemo was not only a Baron for Hydra, he was also a Sokovian Hydra assassin, like Winter Soldier. I mean, he was a Sokovian hitman who slaughtered people for a living. So it's like, look, I know that Deadpools here are really much assassins, but we kill bad guys. Sokovian assassins like this, the government will have them kill anyone, innocent or guilty. I mean, there's only a small chance of them being guilty. Others are just being innocent and freedom fighters, for the government's rights and everything. So come on, it's it's Helmut Zemo. The guy's pretty much a bag of dicks. And we can all agree on that. Now, U.S. agent, I know that he's trying to be like his best, trying to be thrusted into this role, and I love that they brought in his partner in crime fighting, Battlestar. I mean, to me, when I first saw them debut in their episode, it was like watching Batman and Robin fight, because it was just freaking awesome. I mean, yes, they say it's not their Captain America. It's like, well, come on, man. I mean, Captain America had died in that universe because he was like 112, and he basically passed away, and he passed away because of, well, his said old age. So that's kind of, yeah, just, well, kind of that. But come on, Captain America has done so much. I mean, he helped fight off the Chitauri in Avengers 1. He helped take down Hydra by inadvertently taking down S.H.I.E.L.D. from the inside, and even helped to stand up for the rights of his best friend, even if it did cost him his friendship with the Avengers, with Iron Man and everything like that. But come on, I think Iron Man was just playing, like, way too fascist on that, because, I mean, they're, like, saying, just because you got guilted into something doesn't mean you have to force everyone else to go along with this guilt trip, too. There are going to be consequences. In the line of work, people can get hurt if you're not playing careful, if you don't play it safe. And everything. Okay. And speaking of Civil War, I think it's about time that we finally introduced our special guest of honor. He's been a friend of the Deadpool Corps for many years and a trusted ally of Deadpool. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the amazing, the ultimately spectacular Spider-Man. Hey. What's going on, everybody? This is your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man coming at you live from Chillin with the Pool. Thanks for having me on. Thanks for having me on, Deadpool. Even this, though, was slightly orthodox. Oh, come on, Spider-Man. It couldn't have been that bad. You threw me into a potato sack and then dragged me all the way here, and then refused to let me go unless you wouldn't. Just let me go unless I did this show with you. Those Spider-Man, always telling such mad quips. I wasn't joking. I mean, you really did put me in a potato sack. Okay, that's about enough out of you. Anyway, the reason why we brought you here on this show is because, well, you're the ultimately spectacular Spider-Man. Your suit may not look the part, but you yourself are like the true hero that Brooklyn and New York needs. I mean, you have taken on so many enemies over the years. I mean, just a lot of them. Like, you've taken down so many of your arch foes. You got Doc Ock, the Green Goblin, and Black Cat. Well, Black Cat's kind of more of a frenemy at this point. Anyway, I think we actually have a picture of you taking out your arch foe, or secondary arch foe, the Green Goblin. Can we get a picture up on that? Yeah, that's it. Can we zoom in a little bit? Oh yeah, that's it right there. That's him. That is prime Spider-Man material at this point. I mean, this was taken like from out of the original 2002 Spider-Man video game that was available on GameCube, PS4, Xbox, and so forth. And as you can tell, Spider-Man is swinging into action, getting ready to battle one of his arch enemies, the Green Goblin. And of course, this one was played by the great William Dafoe in 2002. Because I think this one is definitely the definitive Green Goblin, as you can tell here. It's a great picture. It shows off Spider-Man and his finest, getting ready to attack the Green Goblin, or at least going to defend New York from the Goblin's deranged wrath. Ain't that right, Spider-Man? Man, yeah, it was, yep, those were the days, Deadpool, those were the days, but now everything has just become so two-dimensional and multi-sided now. It's like almost hard to decide who are truly the good guys and who are the bad guys. It's just like they were saying in the Falcon and Winter Soldier series last night. They said that we can't tell who back in the day you could tell who was good and who was bad, the world in black and white, but nowadays you can't even tell what's white, what's black, or what's anything these days because it makes it so damn confusing. I mean, it's not that I'm having a problem with that. I honestly don't care either way. I'm just saying it just becomes, just that. It's one of those philosophical mind, Yeah, I get that. I get those a lot, really. But yeah, anyway, the reason why we brought you in today, Spider-Man, is because that you first guest starred in the Marvel Cinematic Universe in Captain America Civil War. So how was that? And the guy who played you, Tom Holland, was it? How did you feel about someone like him playing a character like you? Well, Deadpool, I think you really can't go wrong with someone like Tom Holland. I mean, he's a young kid. I think he's around the producer's age. Holla. Mm. Holla, and so forth. I mean, he's had a lot of good roles. I mean, he comes from a long line of famous brothers and everything like that. I don't know much about Tom Holland, but all I know is that anyone who is in the role of Spider-Man would love to play that, along with any other Marvel character that they've been a fan of growing up. I mean, look at the X-Men. I mean, I once was reading online about this article for this voice actress Kari Walgreen, who is known for a lot of things, and specifically Emma Frost. I mean, if you've seen Wolverine and the X-Men and you've watched Emma Frost, you know that she really loved the character and wanted to do her the most justice from the way that she saw fit. And I think that's what voice actors and even live action actors try to do for these characters, to try to bring them justice. The justice that they deserve and how they're supposed to be, portrayed. I know that the whole definitive live-action Spider-Man thing has been kind of a debate over Spider fans for years, but for me, personally, I like anyone who plays Spider-Man, as long as they can do the script right, and they know how to follow the role, and if they've done their research, and stuff like that. They really put some stuff into it. I mean, take the three Spider-Man, for example. You got Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and Tom Holland. They say that Tobey Maguire did a kick-awesome job portraying Peter Parker. Even without the costume on, you'd know it was him. Andrew Garfield did a job portraying Spider-Man's charisma and joking nature, and also the sensitive side. And also you got Tom Holland, who I think is like almost a good blend of both of them together while still doing justice. If you ask me, I think Andrew Garfield would have been better for the MCU because it takes place in a more modern thing. It's kind of like the older Spider-Man, like almost teenage Spider-Man. Because the way I look at it, it's kind of like you're watching it backwards. You got Tom Holland as Spider-Boy, you got Andrew Garfield as Spider-Teen, and of course Tobey Maguire is the Spider-Man. Now I heard there are rumors that Tobey Maguire might be coming back into the in the Spider-Verse 2, Spider-Man 3, No Way Home.
Hey, Robert, sorry, are you talking to me?
Camera, right over here. What do you want?
Is there another John Oliver we can watch?
Nah, maybe, but I'm kind of in the middle of something.
Sorry.
Sorry about that, folks. The producer was just busy talking to the executive, the CEO in charge of the network. Anyway. Anyway, you got like Tom Holland as the Spider Kid, Andrew Garfield as Spider Teen, and Tobey Maguire as the Spider Man. That's how I see it. If you watch it backwards, you can actually see Spider-Man aging like forwards. And I think that actually could work. I mean, if you look at Aunt May, she looks like Marissa Tomei. Then you got the next one as Sally Fields, and then you got the next one as Rosemary Harris, who was the older one. So if you kind of watch like the three different Spider-Man backwards from Tom Holland to Tobey Maguire, then I'd say that it's almost like you're looking at this like he's really aged. It really shows that he's aged this many years. You see him at Midtown, then you got Empire State University graduating from high school, and freshman graduating, and then into college as into ESU. So yeah, that's basically it. That's how I see it. I mean, I liked all of them. I mean, Andrew Garfield I wanted to do justice for because I think those writers at Sony really screwed him over. He and Emma Stone as him and Gwen Stacy was perfect. I think Shailene Woodley would have made a good modern MJ. Nothing wrong with Kirsten Dunst. I mean, it was kind of a little bland in all that, but she did look the part of MJ. Just saying. But for like a live action one, I'd say Shailene Woodley would have done just as good as MJ. That's all I'm gonna say. I mean, you really can't go wrong with something like that. I mean, if you've seen Kirsten, however you pronounce her last name. Anyway, she was good in Hidden Figures and I think the Spider-Man trilogy, and I think you really can't go wrong with someone like her. Like you can't with the voice actor Crispin Freeman. It's like he's just that good. You really can't go wrong with someone like him. And anything. But anyway, like I said, Tom Holland, I think, portrayed my character in Civil War very well. I mean, he was youthful, he was naive, something like Spider-Man should capture. But not too kiddish, but just enough that, shows that he may be named Spider-Man, but he's still a kid underneath that. So it's kind of what I think that Tom Holland was trying to touch upon in all those Marvel movies. I mean, and plus his interactions with Falcon and Winter Soldier, I think, were pretty much the reason why they wanted to do the series. It's like, I honestly, I wish I had an agent like me. I mean, I worked for Parker Industries, and and the secretary there, or second in command, Anne Marie Marconi, said that had her keep an eye out in case they needed like a call back to Falcon and Winter Soldier. I said, I mean, I've been waiting for the call, just but like I said, those guys have been pretty much like big brothers, because it's kind of like they had that relationship. I mean, they rip on Spider-Man so much, but there's no hostility when they rip in towards something like that. I mean, Flash Thompson, he used to rip on Peter Parker all the time back in the day until he became friends, like Agent Anti-Venom, it was just kind of like that. I mean, if you really want some real hostility, check out my rogues gallery. Even J. Jonah Jameson, who obviously was a ball-gargling bag of dicks. So that's kind of around that area. I mean, those are the real ball busters and everything like that. Any people like Flash Thompson, Falcon, and Winter Soldier, it's like, I mean, yeah, they can be a bit stuck up, but aside from Jameson, those two are pretty much okay. I mean, I caught Winter Soldier's punch with one hand. I mean, seriously, the guy's like 102, 106 years old, and I still was able to catch a punch from his metal arm. I mean, seriously, I didn't even have to break a sweat just from catching that. Thanks to him, you know what I call it, and he was wondering, like, how the hell is he able to do that? I tell him one thing: Spider sense, bitch. Spider sense. Hell, that's how I was able to apprehend Falcon and web both of their arms together on the floor before being dragged out by his pet bird Redwing. Seriously. And I know that the whole Civil War comic, both 1 and 2, was pretty much supposed to be done like supposed to be played like the right way. But when you see Civil War 2, and even like the MCU Civil War, it's like saying, you have to. They want to be put in check. It's like, true. I mean, but that's only for the bad guys. For the heroes, it's like if you really can't trust the heroes, who can you trust? Your own? You barely even trust your own. I mean, look at what you do for these veterans. I mean, you're supposed to give them like, royalty treatments, and instead you almost have them you have them almost put out in the streets like homeless. I tell you, that's why we had Parker Industries, to help veterans like that get back on their feet, and the homeless too, to give them homes, to get their lives back, to help them move on with their lives. That's what Parker Industries is doing. We don't make weapons like Obadiah Stane from Iron Man's Rogues Gallery does. I mean, besides, S.H.I.E.L.D. and S-Force pretty much. And by the way, S-Force is pretty much like a young adult version of S.H.I.E.L.D. S-Force is like, it stands for S.H.I.E.L.D., Spider-Man, saving lives, superheroes, and in some cultures, i.e. Superman, the S stands for hope. And what better way to bring hope than with the next generation of heroes? That's what I'm saying. S-Force. Anyway, we have more of a BYOW sort of thing, a bring your own weapons arrangement, because if people we don't make the weapons, they have to bring their own. Because like if you're gonna be fighting crime, you bring your own. It's like we don't supply them weapons. It's like we know, and they know that we can't be held accountable for making weapons. Otherwise, we're no better than Tony Stark. Stark Industries used to be under Obadiah Stane's commission. It's kind of one of those sort of things to that. I guess, but anyway, I think probably should, still probably have some time. So, what is it you guys wanted to talk to next, Deadpool? Yeah, I think that we probably would have covered all the bases. We got, like, Spider-Man, we got the pop culture, and, stuff like that, and, I almost forgot. Speaking of pop culture and music, did I ever tell you that on Falcon and Winter Soldier, there is only one thing that both Bucky, Sam, and yes, Helmut Zemo all have in common? You want to guess what that is? Go ahead. We can wait. Okay, give up. Yeah, it's the thing is that all three of them love Marvin Gaye. I mean, who doesn't? Even Zemo said himself online. You can check up the clips on YouTube. You can say here, he said that Marvin Gaye's music is comprehensive, it's a master, it's complete, and yes, it truly embodies the African-American experience. I may be wrong, you can question that, I don't care. But just saying, everyone loves Marvin Gaye. I mean, we can all, even the worst of them, like Zemo, he can agree that Marvin Gaye is the GOAT. We can agree on that when it comes to that kind of music. He is the king. Just saying, the king. Yeah, that was just me puffing on that was just Deadpool puffing on one of those joints, saying that he is a stone groove, man, a stone groove. All right, well, I think that's about all the time we have for today on this one, Spider-Man. I'd like to thank our special guest, MCU Spider-Man, for stopping by and sharing his opinions on the future of the franchise. Thanks for having me here, Deadpool, I guess. Folks at home, be sure to look out stay tuned for, Spider-Man No Way Home. Previews and stuff should be online, but, coming this Christmas, when the Golden Age will be at its peak. And everything. So, be sure to stay tuned. New episodes of Spider-Man, Chillin With Da Pool. Wait, am I saying this right? Yeah, I think we can take it from here, Spider-Man. Yeah, that'll be all the time we have for today's episode. Be sure to tune in. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. You can follow me on Instagram and Snapchat, and don't forget, if you're really into the artsy-fartsy stuff, you can locate me on DeviantArt and Tumblr. It'll be on the handle is Rugnificent the Great on DeviantArt and Snapchat. They'll be just Rugnificent, and you'll be able to follow me on Instagram under Rugnificent_25 and/or 26, whichever one you prefer. Anyway, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. There'll be more episodes of Chillin' With Da Pool coming out whenever they can. So I really don't have a release date. Whenever they come out, they come out. So you won't know when they're hitting them until bam. Too late. Anyway, thanks again for joining us today, Spider-Man, and we hope to see you all again next time here on Chillin' With Da Pool. This is Deadpool and Pyromaster Deadpool Supreme signing off.